Okay, this is what you need to do to first sign in to for the first time to your Vircast account. You're going to be given a link to log in, and all you need to do is enter in your username and password. And once you click on login, you're going to see a couple different things. It's going to say welcome to your username, and you're going to be able to create 10 webinars if that's the package that you purchased. And each webinar room, we'll have 500 attendees in there. If you wanted to purchase a different package, you would click here. Right now, I do not believe that that feature is activated. The first one is user registration. You don't have to worry about user login. You're already logged in. Edit the account. If you click on that, you'll be able to change your password. You will not be able to change your username, however. All right, so we've got all that in there. And then you want to go to Webcast. And I've already created a webcast, but once you first go in here, you won't even see this in here. You'll see the words new, and that's it, new. And either new will work. And once you click on the word new, you'll have a few features that you need to enter in for this system to work the best way. First of all, you'll have that enabled. You can have the public webcast or a private webcast. If you click on private webcast, you'll notice that a password is not necessary, because what happens with the private webcast is that you will actually invite people to a web page to register for that private webcast. Once they register to that private webcast, they are then sent an email with a unique password to them. And if they share that unique password with others, they will not be able to log in. Let me give you an example. Let's say that John logs in with his unique password, and he passes on his unique password to Sally. Sally logs in the same method. She ends up kicking out John and taking place of and entering in as John. So Sally kicks out John and Sally's in, but John's out. So it's a very unique private password that can't be shared, and if it is, they'll get kicked out. All right, so we're going to go back to public, and once you have public, you can put in a password. Let's say it's Vircast. That could be a password. Whatever the password is, you need to let people know what the password is, or they won't be able to get in. I like to personally leave it blank so you don't need a password. There's the default skin. Look over here, it says manage skins, meaning you can change the look and feel of your webinar room. If you use the default skin, you'll end up having a default logo and everything in there. I think you should create a new look and feel skin for yourself. Once you do that, then you can actually edit the logo and image as you wish. Okay. Okay, as you move on, once you change the skin, let's say you change it to what I did was blue, and I'll show you in a later broadcast how to change the skins around. This is the exit URL. When you're using the webinar or webcast and you're creating your webcast, you can let people know that once they hit the exit button, it'll automatically take them to any website you want them to go to. I'm going to, in this case, just put in vircast.com. All right. And the promotional URL, you don't have to worry about that at this time. These three work together with the skin. So once you go to manage skins, you can edit all these three at the same time. I'm just not going to have to manage skins at all right now. The webcast name, you want to call the webcast something. Let's call it Vircast Demo. There we go. And this is a completely editable area here, and you can put anything you want in here. I'm just going to pause this video and paste something in here. Just one moment. Okay, just put in Vircast, the intense webcast. Oops, I spelled that wrong. I'll just Webcast software system. Again, you can put anything in here. You can actually put in a video in here if you wanted to. It's up to you what you want to do, an image or whatever. All right, so then you just click on submit. And I don't know if you could see the submit button I just clicked on. Okay, so I just clicked on the submit button, and as you can see, I now have 2 webcasts in here. Now, you would think that you are all done, but what we've done is we've actually created a brand new... I apologize, I don't even remember exactly where I was. I had to take a 10-minute break to answer a phone call, so I do apologize for that. All right, as I mentioned, we did that one step, and now it seems like we're all done, but we're really not all done. We've created a web room, but we haven't created the actual broadcast that's going to appear in that web room. So what we really need to do now is we really need to create a web room. So let me just go across here and we'll just take a look at these different menus, different icons. This first icon from right to left is to change the web skin. And as I mentioned earlier, we can change the web skin and change everything around quite significantly. I'm going to click in here just real quick so you can see. If you have web skins, like I already created one of blue, you click on blue, and then you can add in the logos and the promotional URL. And the logo on the top left-hand corner of the room is only 25 by 25 pixels. And then there's one that's 290 by 290 in the bottom left-hand side that's quite significant that you can use for your own purposes, or you can actually sell this advertisement. It's a great size advertisement, logo, promo image that you can use. And when somebody clicks on that, it opens up in a new window so you don't lose the customer that's watching your webinar, and that's the link that will be sent to. This link here is the Webcast participants. Let me click on that. This one's really significant for that private. If you remember, I clicked on the private or public broadcast. And if you make it a private broadcast, when you send somebody a link to come to the webinar, they're actually going to come to the sign-up page. And the sign-up page is going to say, if you want to join the webinar, please enter in your name and email address. And you click on that, and what happens is that this will propagate with names and email addresses and their unique password that is sent to them. And you can have whatever, up to 500 names in this list here. You could actually have more, I guess. All right, let's go back. This one here is significant because it provides the webcast information. Click on that now. This link here is the webcast link that the customer will be going to. We have a public room, and because it's a public broadcast, this is the webcast link. And if I go to that link right now, it's not going to be ready because we're not quite done yet. So we'll go back to there and we'll show you what it looks like in just a little bit. This is obviously to delete it. This is to edit exactly what we've already done. And this one here is a file with a search in here. This is the browse the webcast session. So now that we created the webcast room, we need to create a webcast session. So let's click on that. And as you can see, I have not created a webcast session for this as of yet. So I'm going to click on new here. And this means that the room is enabled. And we're going to name this webcast session Vircast Demo again. Instead of room, we're just going to call it Vircast Demo. I'm going to pause this while I complete this room in here. Okay, we've just added some things in here. Vircast Demo Room. If you are here for a scheduled meeting and you see this message, then you are early. The room will open approximately 5 to 10 minutes before the webinar begins. Please reload this page until the login box appears. Thank you, Keith Carberry, co-founder. So as you can see right here, this is very important, so that's why I put it in red so people can see that. Because if you do actually see this, you need to reload, and I'll show you exactly what that means in just a little bit. But that's very important. So now I'm going to click on Submit. So now what we've done is we created a webcast room, and we've created a broadcasting session, basically. So now we've got the webcast room and the broadcasting session that's tied into that webcast room. I hope that makes sense, because that's very important. Now, if we click on the Start, you'll see what happens. And this is the typical. This is the blue room that I created, and I'm just going to minimize this just a little bit here. So bear with me, so I can make this a little bit smaller. Okay. So now you can see everything in here. And this here is about the YouTube account. We'll get into all that in just a little while. It's important. This is an important feature where you can save everything you do, and it goes right automatically to your YouTube account. Very, very important. All right, so now if I go to that room, that link, let's go back into that room. I'm going to minimize this. I'm going to go back into here, Webcast. And I'm going to go back to where it says Webcast Information. And right here, I'm going to highlight this. And here's that information that we just had. Webcast, Vircast demo, Vircast, the intense webcast software system. Then it says the webcast session is called Vircast demo. Welcome to the room. And this is what we see because I did not start the room. So even though I'm in there, and this is really important as an administrator, I'm in the room and now I can do whatever I want to in this room, set the room up, add in different features. If I want to go to add in a presentation, I would click on the presentation button, add the presentation, make sure everything works, test things out. Nobody else can get into the room unless another moderator is active. But right now, nobody can get in the room but myself or other moderators until I click the start room. Once I click on the start room, and if I go back to this page here, I'm actually going to click on the reload button. You won't be able to see me do that, but I'm going to click on the reload button. Once I click on the reload button, now it asks me to fill in certain information, test that information out, put in my name and first name and last name, and then click on the login button. And then now I can get into the room. But before, I was completely logged out. Now I'm going to go back into here, into my room. I'm going to stop the room. I'm going to go back and I'm going to refresh this room. And the reason why I'm going to refresh this room is because this is kind of what I like to call a waiting room. And many people, many times, come into a room, they click the link for a webinar, and very often they don't take advantage of this room. And here's an opportunity. All this is HTML that you can modify at any time. You can put anything you want in here. You can put a video in here. Thanks for coming in early. As an early bird viewer, we want to let you know that you're going to get a very special gift at the end of the show. But only people who got in here early are going to know about the special gift, because when I say the session has ended, you're not going to see me for a full 5 minutes. But if you stay online in this room after the meeting for an additional 5 minutes, then I'm going to come back on again and I'm going to give you a special gift for coming here early. Something like that. This is a special room that you can really utilize to your advantage. You can put a game in here. You can put some type of an online game in here. You can iframe other things in here. So I would recommend that you do that because you'll find it very powerful. And once you're not in the room and somebody clicks on the room 2 days later because they looked at the link late, they're going to be taken right to this page. And if you have something on here that's very important, they might be able to click another link to go somewhere else to get that special deal. All right, hopefully that you understand that. And we're going to talk more about this in another video. Okay, so now we're going to go back to Webcast again. And again, we can edit this page. We can modify anything we want in here. Now let's say that you want to invite somebody in to be a moderator with you. You can also do that with this button here. You click on Manage Moderators. You click on New. You put in their username. You put in their email address. You put in their password. And you got to make sure you put all this information in to make them a moderator. Once you do that, inside here, I believe. Oh, one moment. Okay, I apologize for that. What I had to do is I actually had to create a moderator, and that's exactly what I did. If I go back to Manage Moderators, I'm just going to edit this and show you what I did. I created a moderator here, put in their information, put everything I needed to put in there, and I click Submit. So once I go back in here, once I go into my webcasts, and I want to edit my webcast, if I want to have more than one person as a moderator, would be myself and somebody else, I would click on that to make them a moderator as well along with me. And that's how the moderator system works. All right, this should get you started, and I apologize for the clunky behavior of this video, but I do think that this will help you understand it. The key to your success is to understand that you need to first create a webinar room for yourself, and then you need to create a broadcast or a session that's linked to that webinar room. Once you get those two together, then you're on your way to being very successful. And if I go over here, excuse me, let me back up a little bit. If I click on the top one that I've already done before, Vircast Demo Room, and I click on Start. You'll be able to see I've created a couple different little features in here. That's why I want to show you this a little bit. This says install because it didn't grab the information, but right here's an image that I added, and it's the same image here, but you can put any image you want, and this is the brandable part. So as you can see, this color is different than the last one that I just showed you. So we get a lot of different things going on in here. In here you can have a presentation, desktop sharing, flip chart, video share, browser, which may not be working right now. I have not tested that yet. Social media, you can click on the Twitter and the Facebook. That may or may not be working yet. I'm not sure as well, but we'll be getting that to work within the next 24 hours. And then you can obviously create polls as well. We're going to talk more detail about all those different features in a later video. Thank you very much, and if you have any questions, you know where to find me.